With the Giants sitting at 2-12 so far in the 2024-2025 NFL season, I thought it would be a good idea to look forward and think and talk about a way to improve this roster, which is a joke. So we're going to go through 5 players at 5 positions of need that I think the Giants should target in 2025 NFL free agency. My question to you before we do that is, what is the biggest need outside of the quarterback on the New York Giants roster? And I don't mean right now. Think about a healthy team, hopefully healthy going into 2025. Biggest need outside of QB. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we get ready to talk some New York Football Giants free agency targets going into 2025. As we sit, the New York Giants are projected is the word. Speak. The Giants are projected to have around $65 million in cap space going into the year, and that's with no restructures, and that's with the salary cap coming in at a number that we were anticipating, whereas last year it came in at a much higher number. So this number could be even higher. In my opinion, the biggest 5 needs the Giants have outside of QB, in no order, include defensive tackle, offensive line, offensive playmakers, corner, and safety. So yeah, they've got a lot of holes. We're going to go through all 5 positions, and I'm going to give you just one name at all 5 positions that I think the Giants should at least target. I'm not saying go out and sign. Would be fine with it. They sign any of these players, but guys, they should go out and target. Let's start with defensive tackle. And I'll start with this because I think it's important. The 2025 draft is stacked with defensive tackles. And think about it like this. You already are paying $100 million to Dexter Lawrence. So you're probably not going to go out and give the bag to one of these defensive tackles out there. But you need one, and you need a guy that can go out and produce. Someone that I'm looking at is the former 4th-round pick out of Texas A&M, the 24-year-old defensive tackle, Bobby Brown III for the Los Angeles Rams. He is one of the better run-stuffing defensive tackles in the National Football League. And as we know, the New York Giants are one of the worst run-stopping teams in the NFL. You need someone next to Dexter Lawrence that can hold the line of scrimmage, get off blocks, and make plays. And Brown is one of the best in the business at doing so. Is he an elite player? No. Is he someone that's going to make you wake up in free agency and talk about, we got the best D tackle? No. But what does he do good? Run defense. He is ranked by Pro Football Focus as the 21st best run defender in the NFL at the defensive tackle position. He's not a pass rusher. He's not. But he's someone that gets off blocks and he makes plays. He got 15 stops this year, 54th most at the defensive tackle position. Giants aren't going to go out and spend a bag on DT, but this is a value signing that I think could be a starter for this football team next year. He's only 24 years old, so he can still get better, and you can still address the need in the NFL draft. Brown is someone that would be on my short list of defensive tackle free agency targets. It's not that good of a list. Another guy I would keep my eye on is B.J. Hill. Once a Giant, always a Giant. Let's go to offensive line. This is if I had to create a big board of free agent targets for Marshall Green for the New York Giants, Trey Smith would be number 1, the interior offensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs. Played 13 games this year. Goose egg. You'll start calling him Goose Egg Smith. Has not allowed a single sack all year long. He is widely looked at as one of the best interior offensive linemen in the National Football League. And I'm sure that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to want to keep him. And I'm sure he's going to want to stay with the Kansas City Chiefs. But is there a world where the Chiefs can pay everybody? I'm not so sure. 15th overall when it comes to grade. 38th in pass blocking, which doesn't really compute for me because he hasn't given up a sack this year. Has given up like 20 pressures, but sacks is what matters to me, and he is one of the best run-blocking interior offensive linemen in the National Football League. We need someone that can move people. We need someone that can create running holes for whether it's Singletary or Tyrone Tracy. And I was talking to my guy Jack Sperry, host of Steelers Talk here at Chat Sports, and we had a great conversation about how do you build around a rookie quarterback. Like if you had to power rank what is important, play calling, offensive line and protection and weapons, I would think protection is the most important for a rookie quarterback. So nothing matters until the offensive line is fixed. We've only been saying this for about 8 years running. If you can go out and sign Trey Smith to play guard, and your guards are Runyon and Smith with Thomas and Illuminor at your bookend tackles, and maybe JMS or somebody else playing there, that's at least a middle of the pack to maybe top 12, 13, 14 offensive line in this league. Of course, if you stay healthy. You want to draft a QB? You want to add a rookie quarterback? You want to build an ecosystem that can produce results from that rookie QB? Solidify the offensive line. Go out and sign Trey Smith. That'll make the opportunity for Ward or Sanders much more likely to be successful in this league. So once you go out and add an offensive lineman, go get him one of the best slot receivers in the National Football League. We've talked about T. Higgins as a player, and he's definitely still on my board, but I think T. Higgins is going to get extremely overpaid in free agency, potentially by the New England Patriots. So I'm looking for a guy that maybe comes in tier 2 of the free agency money at the receiver position, and I'm looking at Chris Godwin, the 28-year-old slot wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still just 28 is incredible to me. He is coming off a dislocated ankle, which, to be honest with you, I'd rather have a dislocated ankle than a torn Achilles or a dislocated ankle than a torn ACL. You can come back better than ever from a broken bone or a dislocated ankle, and I think he will do so. You know, you help off a great young quarterback, you build the offensive line, then you get your young QB a dominant slot wide receiver. And that's exactly what Godwin is. He is one of the best in the business at creating separation, being strong at the catch point, and being able to make plays. This is someone that year in and year out is stuffing the stat sheet. And I would love to bring his leadership, his veteran spirit, and overall just game-changing talent to the New York Football Giants. On the other side of the ball, I'm looking at Charvarius Ward. Hasn't had the season that he usually does with the San Francisco 49ers, but still just 28 years old. And like we talked about with Smith and the Chiefs not being able to pay everybody, the San Francisco 49ers are not going to be able to pay everybody. And I think Ward is going to leave in free agency. Not having the best year in 2024. You see the Pro Football Focus grades on screen. But in 2022, he was graded out as one of the best corners in the National Football League. In 2023, he was graded out as one of the best corners in the National Football League. He's played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He knows what it takes to win championships. He's played for the San Francisco 49ers. He knows what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. Bring a winning player to this organization to get some freaking shit done. He is a legit CB1 at 28 years old. Got good size, still has good athleticism. I don't think the dip in production is due to him falling off a cliff athletically. I think it's just the new scheme with the new DC no longer there, or the old DC no longer there, and a new DC there. He is struggling at that spot. Charvarius Ward is someone that is also high up on my list to add to this football team. At the safety position, I'm going back to Julian Blackman, a player that I wanted the Giants to sign this past offseason to replace Xavier McKinney. One of the true sideline-to-sideline free safeties in the NFL. I think that Tyler Nubin is a better player closer to the line of scrimmage. I want to see him play a little bit more in the box as a true strong safety. Julian Blackman is a true free safety, and you see that represented in the coverage grades over the last 2 years, and he's also extremely diverse. He's extremely versatile. Look at the run defense grades from 2020 to 2022. Look at the tackling grades each of the last 3 seasons. So he can cover over the top, he can get down in the box and get dirty with it, and he is a sound, fundamental tackler as well. A proven pro. You pair him up with Tyler Nubin on the back end, as he is still just 26 years old, and that's going to beef up a young secondary. Giants have a lot of holes on this team. There's no doubt about it. And you don't want to fix all of them in free agency. That's not how you build a championship team. You build through the draft, and you piece together positions of need in free agency. And I'm hoping the New York Giants, they do that. Name a free agent you want the Giants to sign. We went through 5 players on today's show. Give me someone you want to see. Put pen to paper to join this football team in free agency. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.